lately, with news and recent events, it seems like every other day there's a mass shooting, and gun crime is just rising in the United States of America, and people are just dying by guns every day, and it's rising, and more people are falling victims to these evil guns. But today, I'm here to inform you on the facts of gun crime in America, and 3 topics I'm going to go over are the facts of gun ownership in the U.S., where the gun crime occurs in the U.S., and misconceptions that modern news media has portrayed to the public so they can skew your vote to which side they want. But today we'll just have the facts. Gun ownership in the U.S., 25% of all citizens in the U.S. have a gun, legally own a firearm. And this is a large number. It's the largest number compared to any citizen to gun ratio in the world. So we've got the most guns per citizen in the world. However, in Pittsburgh, out of all gun crime related, only 18% of that 18% of all gun crime is committed by legally owned firearms, whereas the rest are committed by people that stole guns or borrowed guns or just aren't registered. So the legally registered guns do not correlate directly to committing crime. In fact, legal owners of guns are less likely to commit a gun crime or a violent act in general. Next, we're going to go to where the gun crime happens. And this also kind of leads into why gun crime happens. So if we take some of the biggest cities, and they also have the biggest problems with poverty, we'll have New Orleans, Baltimore, and Detroit are 3 of the highest gun crime, gun violence, death rates by gun in the nation. And if you remove some of these higher cities with the most dense population and dense gun crime, you remove those 3 and some more, the U.S. will drop from the nation with the highest to one of the lowest gun crime nations in the world, with just a removal of a few cities. Also, these major cities, the problem that makes the gun crime happen, something they all have in common is there would be gang activity and poverty. And one leads to the other, and the other leads to the other. And then next, we'll go to misconceptions of gun crime in the U.S. So news media will often try to, like these days they're trying to scare you, and they're trying to make you live, because if you're scared, they can easily skew your vote to where they want. So they'll often talk about all these mass shootings. But if you look at this chart here, crime and violent crime has actually been decreasing steadily since the 90s, and it's just going to keep going that way. However, the news translated, they can't deny the fact. And then they'll also talk about these scary assault rifles and rifles. However, they make up less than 5% of all gun-related deaths in the U.S., where 80% are handguns, but no one ever talks about those. And then when a media source is talking about gun violence, gun-related deaths, they'll give you a number, a huge number. So they'll talk about 2012, there were 33,000 gun-related deaths. However, more than half of those were suicide. So they'll give you this big number, but they won't tell you that half of that was actually suicide by gun and not man-on-man violence. And today, with those 3 points and those facts, I hope you can, I feel a lot of people today are scared, and they're wrongfully scared. They should feel safe where they are. And I think media is trying to scare you because it's easier to control a scared populace. And if you become more informed on your topics and more informed on the state of your country, you'll be able to vote more and vote more to where you feel. But also, something I left out was the U.S. is at the highest gun murder rate in some of the richest countries, but we always ignore the poor countries like Honduras, Venezuela, and El Salvador. And if we compared the U.S. to some of these countries, our gun rates would be incomparable. The violence in these countries is astronomical compared to the U.S. at the bottom. And this is the comparison of all handgun gun crime, and then this small sliver here is the rifles. decrease of crime